Today we're going to start the real text on part 4 of Analects by Confucius. We start the verse or conversation 1, and we're going to follow the same format. That is me reading, then you do the translations, and we discuss based on that translation. Is that okay? So, okay, the first, let me read it. 4.1 子曰礼人为美，则不出人焉得之 Okay, go ahead.
All right. Number 1. The master said, "It is virtuous manners which constitute the excellence of a neighborhood. If a man in selecting a residence do not fix on one where such prevail, how can he be wise?"
Be wise. So, there is a certain example, but I don't think it's necessary to introduce. So basically, if a man making weapons, okay, making in old days, making weapons like armor, stuff like that. So basically, if they choose as a career because that's their living came from, do they think they want peaceful time or want time of war? They will desire have war time, right? They can make a living of it, right? So interesting. So they will where they will go. I mean, for the benefit of their business, where they will associate with people, is where they will go to go where war is, right? So, making sense here, people, this simple example is, okay, they're going to want to place war in old time, not modern day war. Okay, so this making spears or armor like Roman soldiers, they will go to where war is, right? Where they can be a supplier, a merchant for those things. Now, if they carry the song go there, well, what is the song going to do? What the children going to do? And what the friends are going to associate with is thinking about their songs was that eventually either they're going to don't like war or like war, right? So that become a sticking point to their future, right? Because the father decided he's going to be a merchant of weaponry, So the son going to love war or hate war, So either way, that son's life is damaged. Now let's talk about the only preference time. What if his association has impact on the experience of the son's life, right? So the son will say, okay, I love war, he's going to go to war. But do you think war's safe? You're going to die, right? And get wounded. Making sense to you? So now this man wanted to have a good life. It might be, what have you. His son died because he tried to pursue a benefit he thinks can benefit the son, his family, right? So it turned out to be harming his family. Just me give example of this. Second is with sons, second option, don't love war. Do you think they can have a good relationship? Do you think the son don't inherit what he does? Or the son must took off or rebel or whatever, So a desire to have a good family life, to bless his son, turned out to be the real reason for the grievances of the son. And the real reason the son have a bad relation with him, right? So I'm just to give you one extreme example. So in a sense, this understanding is so basic in life. Like every day, we see people choose their career, choose their neighborhood, choose a relationship. As you said, like a Greek, like a flow, right? They don't work casual with it. But that's not the pattern Confucius proposed, not the pattern where in the Bible. I should read on someone, you read that. So, be careful with the people you associate with. And I'm talking about to be critical, cynical, judgmental. Be wise. Amen, be wise. And I can spend 2 hours, have fun with people, talking about all kinds of topics and people walk away. That's a nice guy. He's never judging us. He don't have a problem with us. It's a good buddy hung around. Next time let's get a party or let's have a good time with him again. Don't necessarily do immoral things, okay? So this, I used to be that man, a young boy, that young man. People like to associate with because I never have any judgment. I always, well, great. So that's your life, not my life. Carry on, But you're my good friends, I'll do my best, you do your best to me. We have a good relationship. I don't judge you, so no, I expect you to judge me, so so I have a lot of good friends. I'm talking about when I grew up, so. But is that profitable? As a profitable way if you want to be a good man to people, a good friend to many people, am I right? If that is, you think that's your life. But have you thought about what life is really about? Why you spend those hours, spend those time, spend those energy in those relationships? What's really reap from? I'm not talking about the self-serving kind of attitudes here. I'm talking about you invest in the friendship, you want to have something to be solid, am I right? Productive from that friendship. So what do you get out of it? I'm not self-serving, okay? Just, say like you sow, am I right? You're going to reap something. So, one, I have a lot of trouble with that. I recognize getting all this friendship is basically curiosity for life. I have a huge array of friendship, okay? So, different character, Because I just want to know, I'm saying, used to be, I want to be a novelist. I want to write a good story for life, the experience things in life. So, good. Another experience. But in the end of the day, you recognize you lost yourself. You really don't have any standard, you don't have any ideal, you don't have any goal in life, so any stability in life. And then the further thing you're thinking about, those experiences of time does not achieve anything for your life. And it has a huge influence also over the importance in your life. For example, I want a relationship can really being beneficial, long term, am I right? Oh, hold on. Let me see this. Where we were on that topic, we were talking about living be careful with the neighborhood of the friends. Neighborhood is basically relationship, am I right? So the relationship you have.
So, I see a lot in this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Related to what you're saying, and with this particular writing.
Yes.
All right. Funny, they call each writing a chapter, so I'm just going to call it chapter 2.
Okay, yeah.
So in this first chapter of this book, there seems to almost be this sequence that he's giving forth.
Yes.
So he's giving the example of a neighborhood.
Yes.
Of course, he is being specific in terms of the excellence of an actual neighborhood and the excellence of an actual individual or man.
Yes.
But it seems in this case he's using a neighborhood as more of a general example as well. So
yes.
Essentially he says in the first part that virtuosity, if that's a word, determines the excellence of a neighborhood.
Yes.
So basically, in other words, the neighborhood is excellent if it is also virtuous.
Yes.
So I think the neighborhood might more generally resemble a setting, like with your example, like a group of people or friends, or the way what a man associates with, the kind of sphere of life he engages with.
Yes.
And then,
they're like a concept. Also, Jesus, when it allow neighbor as unto yourself, it's not talking about this any other human being merely. They have carry a community setting, those or family setting. Things. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, neighborhood is in many ways
with a kinsman, something profound to do with. You want everybody to be your kinsman, right? Treat everybody like your kinsman, hospitable, helpful, compassionate.
Yeah.
But in reality of life, it was talking long-term relationships, love, right? Not compassion. We're talking about love.
Yeah.
Love is different than this moment of compassion. You're talking about the interaction, There is no love. This one-sided. Love is always to the interaction, right? So you can pour out your love. God's pour out to us, but He wants also response, right? So to engage relation with Him. So when Jesus is speaking, love your God with all your heart, then speaking love your neighbor, what do you think He is talking about? A personal act or a cultural norm?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, a difference, huge difference to understand the scripture. I'm just talking, so that's exactly here what I'm talking about as well. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think neighbor or neighborhood is a true neighborhood.
Yeah.
Is a very keen description or term that could be used for what could otherwise be thought of as like a relational ecosystem.
Yes.
So you have a group of like a town almost. Of people that are familiar with one another.
Yes.
And so there's roles that people are playing, and so it's almost equivalent to a culture, like we're saying.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But it's kind of narrowing it in more on a group of people and how they relate to one another.
Yes.
And tying back into this first chapter, it's saying that first of all, the righteousness or virtue of a neighborhood, now that we have a new or better understanding of what neighborhood means, determines this neighborhood's excellence.
Yes.
So at the same time, the wisdom or excellence of the man is determined by how he interacts, or even chooses to interact at all.
Exactly. We're good. That's the essence of this whole conversation. Yeah. So I like it.
And but we're about to get to Psalm 1 here, yeah.
Yeah, read it and we then move on. So
the entire Psalm, right?
That's the first portion.
Okay. Blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, or stand in the way of sinners, or sit in the seat of mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever he does prospers.
Is that amazing?
Yeah. I remember we've gone over this portion before in
we did.
Another chapter.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the second conversation here. 子曰：不仁者不可以久出曰，不可以长处乐。仁者爱人，知者利人。Go ahead.
Chapter 2 says, The Master said, Those who are without virtue cannot abide long either in a condition of poverty and hardship or in a condition of enjoyment. The virtuous rest in virtue. The wise desire virtue.
That's pretty good. So go ahead and comment on it. That's very simple, actually. It's continuation of the last one, right? So, yeah. But more narrowed down, personal application. So, comment on it. Anything, Elijah, on this one? Did you read the translation?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Encourage listening to it, okay? So, talking about this is a man of virtue or righteousness, try to do right in relationship, basically. Yeah. So if he is not one like that, basically his inner vision of life is obscured and perverted, then he can never be content. Now you think about American dream, an American education to encourage youth to pursue their happiness for life. Most of the time is what they inspire people to achieve something, to be better than anyone, competitive, right? So, almost treat us as either as tools or treat the world as your enemy, right? Either way. I mean, either you use people to get where you need to be, or the obstacle to you, you're going to cross them, compete with them, to have a better hand. All these two postures are wicked posturing, am I right? So, because you treat other human beings not like yourself, you will never want to be treated that. People use you up, give you up. People, because in their way or not necessarily helpful to the purpose, it is going to treat you like an enemy, right? So crush you or badger you. And that's my point. Either way, you don't want that kind of people in your life, right? So you don't want to be that people either, right? That kind of people either. I'm not talking about using modern day bully. I'm talking about the cross-human history. This has been the norm. How human beings excel and get upper hand in life. So we all, for the Darwinism, what do you think in essence Darwinism is? It's the encouragement, this wicked indoctrination, actually, modern scientific knowledge, called the social Darwinism now. You do the better, how you do better? By being a better competitor, right? So to take advantage of everything and enjoy advantage of everything, right? So making sense to you? So that is so foolish, because it doesn't see another kind of life work together. Plants help one another. Fish may have a community. And that's my point. Even in the forest, certain people have a whole ecosystem going on, right? So Darwinism don't understand ecosystem, for example. They only see the food chain, right? So it's a kind of economy. So, but they don't understand the whole creation actually has its own harmony. So even in the food chain, in those cruel ways of thinking, those things, yeah, those are true, but there is a wholesome way, right? How life is kept circulate. You see my point in that. My point is that because of the way you look at the world differently, you decide your behavior differently. You interpret the society, the environment, the relationship you're going to have differently. If I look at the whole nature as one wholesome thing, yes, there's a bad things, but you're all each other related, support one another, they have reason to exist, right? There are reason. Then would I try to be number one? In a sense, my point. Not really. You want to be the one you belong to, right? You will settle with your portion. You will settle your roles. You will thrive in the way you're made to be, or you already made to be. Making sense to you? For the grass trying to be a tree, well, good luck. So, you aspire to be a tree, well, good luck. I'm just talking. You will never be happy. You just decided you're not going to be happy, right? But if the grass said, hey, I want to be grass, even take the best opportunity of spring so I can get some flower out, I can enjoy the environment, I'm just talking, right? I mean, grass seems purposeless of life, who's care about the grass? But think about if grass said, he has his own mind, said, well, if I'm not the tree, I'm not going to be happy with myself, with the world, with whoever created me, amen, or with everybody else. Then do you think that grass going to be a happy grass? It's going to be unhappy. Well, certain people is never better than the grass in their way of life. They were never happy with themselves, they're never happy with the world, they're never happy with God, they're never happy with anybody. Because they don't know who they are, and they will never know what life law meant for them. Okay, so, and you can't get to know them if you already decided you're not going to be happy, you just want to be a tree. So self-knowledge, self-examination is the starting what? To know yourself, not selfishly, self-centered know yourself, is a starting point for true happiness. The grass knows I'm the grass, then what the best grass can be, so what the best thing a grass can experience. Those are attainable goals from the grass. Amen? Hallelujah. Making sense to you? But if you just said, I want to be a tree. Now, let's see the grass, maybe, okay, something strange happened, miracle happened, it become a tree. A bush tree. By the root, bitter tree, full of thorns and thistles. But he will take pride, said, I have got a better life than the grass because I have become a tree. Is that the truth? Just thinking about talking, so. But with human pride, you look at the human passion, human pursuits, they finally, the few made it, billionaires, star, leader of the world, they made it, they become a thorn bushes by the roadside, right? So, not a grass anymore. And they will brag, said that God, a new life. The God of thorny life. The God of foolish life, only good for fire, good for cut down. I'm just talking. So the grass life, there's beautiful flower, make a window, you have a wife, you have a children, you have parents, you have good friends. Nobody shares those things, right? So because those not, you're not a president, you're not a star, you're not a musician, you waste your life wrong. What are you talking about? Who told you that? Who told you that? I mean, this has to do with the culture, right? This education started with, you have to be a president in order to be what? To be a better man. Anyway, on that point, I'm just talking. So, you see my point, so, but to be a good father, well, yeah, I can be a good father, but really, anyway, you understand my point. Now, 仁者爱人 means a person righteous really knows the true wisdom of life with this regard. He's content. He's very content in life. He cherish and be thankful and invest in life with the people, in the portion, in the things was given to him. Interesting enough, if you do that, into the world maybe nobody, but you remember by your posterity and the people with you are also happy. They're settled, am I right? They're content, am I right? So, making sense to you? There's a certain norm to it. There's a certain environment you can create, relational environment. Then, 智者利人, means either use it or take advantage or being benefited by it. Okay, this I think is the word here means benefited by it. 智者 is Moses getting that, okay, this is good, I can be content with it. He said, wow, this is the best environment for me to excel. Not to compete, not to poison the thing, but to excel. Excel so that you can be a greater helper to the community. You can even be a leader. You can improve things. You can educate more, am I right? Let's come back to Jesus. He came and said, I have come, my kingdom is with me. What do you think is about? This way of life, discipleship, am I right? So, anyway, there's a lot can be talked about again. So, yeah. So comment on your part.
Yeah, I think you covered pretty well. The first sentence of this chapter, where it says those without virtue cannot last long, neither hardship nor enjoyment. Essentially what it's saying. It seems that that comes as a result of a lack of maturity, like almost a childishness.
Yeah.
Because the wisdom of life, as Confucius is seeking to convey, has not been imparted or practiced in this individual yet. I think his use of the word virtue, which he's been using a lot, is, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that in his use of the word has a much deeper meaning than the actual definition of virtue, which is just...
Let me explain that word to you.
Yeah.
Chinese is a character that might be part of composed together, sometimes symbolize or try to illustrate a meaning. Okay, this is two characters together combine this word. So we have two ways called composing Chinese characters. One is called 造型和象意. Okay, so what it means is this. Means if something, let me see, if something like a song, a moan, I'm just going to make a simple drawing to mimic it, right? So it's more about. But when the song and moan combine together, what are you thinking about? You think about the light, right? That's exactly what it's about. Like enlightenment, something brighten up, something full of light, right? So that's exactly the Chinese called. These two characters combined together now to indicate or deduce meaning. Making sense here? So yeah. So the first one is directly copying of object. The second one is try to deduce meaning, to create a meaning on the composition of things. So in this one is two characters together. One is called human beings or man. Second is two persons. Number two. I mean two things, like two things. Okay, so two apple, two oranges. Now then they combine the two together. Two persons basically. What do you think he implied there? And they're not talking about the bad things, right? So the word means perfect human relationship. And then relationship can be contextualized in different ways, right? Father, son, wife, husband, brother, neighbors, friends, master, subject, a king and his subject. All kind of things. There's a perfect ideal for that relationship, what it should look like. And then it's literally what Confucius talks about. This is the propriety and excellency in relationships. So, but you think about how you can have excellency in relationships until two persons want to pursue it. And nobody going to do that until you have that kind of a relationship that many people want to pursue it. Right? So it has to agree on that. The Bible said, can two work together until they have agreement? If you don't want me, you decide not to be my friend, can I be your friend? I can't. I mean, a serious friend, good friends. I mean, the friendship really means something. So I claim we are friends, we know each other. I am your friend because I had done my heart on you, but Elijah never do anything reciprocate. What is the word reciprocate? Right? So what do you use? That relationship is not friendship. That's called one-sided investment. It's not true friendship. True friendship would be to come together and talk about it, treat one another with great intimacy, friendship. I'm making something, so. Now, then, for that to happen, then the individual, each person has to start somewhere. They have to want to have the friendship. No one want to be an enemy, right? So, making sense here? You want to be my friend, I have to be your friend, then we can start on the develop friendship. So in a sense, in this one word, you can see you now have different stages. And narrow down actually is, yes, talking the excellent relationships seems without, but actually Confucius said, there's something has to happen in you. The concept is something has to happen in you for that vision and then experience of life to be mapped out. So that happen in you, that thing happen in you, is what it's talking about. That defines a person. So in this case, to translate it as a virtue. So yeah, it is a little complicated packed word. So go ahead. Yeah. Actually, I would think it's a wisdom of love. You think about wisdom of love, right? So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
it's amazing thinking about those things.
I guess I don't have too much more to say. This is a really good one to ponder on. I think.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's all the Bible evidently have a lot to say about that. So
yeah.
Which change the wording, you can think how much inspired for you, you know. So indeed, this way of thinking is different than Greek thoughts. You think about the Greek thoughts. You know, Greek. The first words they define is not those kind of words, right? So, making sense here? So, yeah. It's talking about the beauty, talking about the strength, talking about the perfection. But it's all personal. Talking about heroic, talking about the poetic. But everything to do with what? Start with whom? Ended with whom? It's one person, right? Sorry. So you have totally different vision about virtue and excellency and the good things that life is. I don't want to challenge too much of this talking. You're right. 4:3 said, 子曰，为人者能好人，能恶人。子曰，苟自于人者，无恶也。Go ahead.
Chapter 3 says, the Master said, it is only the truly virtuous man who can love or who can hate others.
Yeah. Remember David said, I hate what you... let's see, turn to somewhere. I like that song. I used to take a long time for me because in my shallow and immature Christian experience in the beginning, the word love as a way for things would never think God hate anybody. Therefore, you're not supposed to hate anybody or hate anything. You understand my point? So I read that psalm of David said, I hate faithless man. I hate those who hate you, something like that. I don't quite remember I used to say, what? You can see that, so you can do that. I think 139 maybe have something there. Not so sure. Yeah, here we go. 139. In 21, I'm sorry, in 19 said, Elijah, can you read it for us? Yeah.
And what now?
139, 19.
Psalm?
Yes. Now, Elijah, you need to pay attention. Take notes. Okay, so